The Ayurvedic approach to restoring balance after radiation exposure. This is printed in The Pulse, the Heartbeat of Everything Ayurveda, in Maharishi Ayurveda. Radiation is energy that travels through the atmosphere as waves or particles, is present in different forms, both naturally occurring and man-made. From radioactive minerals in the ground to routine medical x-rays, we're exposed daily to a variety of ways. With increasing levels in our modern world, we wanted to provide information on the Ayurvedic perspective of radiation exposure, and more importantly, Ayurvedic modalities that help the body restore itself to balance. Why Ayurvedic approaches help detox from radiation exposure and restore ojas. Herbs. Because of this kind of exposure affects all three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, we recommend organic premium amla berry, Amrit Kalaj tablets and paste, and liver balance. And additionally, added to the diet, if it isn't already there, we recommend adding organic powdered turmeric in all cooked foods. Ayurvedic herbal formulations that help the body purify are also recommended, including alum toxo, organic, centric, and radiant skin. Ayurvedic purification programs. Panchakarma programs are known for their ability to restore ojas and eliminate environmental toxins. The Raj Maharishi Ayurveda Health Spa offices offers these programs in the U.S. In fact, all of the 40 approaches of Maharishi Ayurveda are understood to be ojas restoring, purifying, and balancing to the body and mind. These approaches include advanced meditation practices, gem light therapy, specialized yoga practices, and others. Diet. The diet should strengthen ojas and overall be pitta pacifying, favoring grapes, boiled cow's milk, almonds, and foods that create bliss. Foods that contain more intelligence of nature convert more easily to ojas, the material equivalent of bliss. Ojas is the finest product of healthy digestion. It gives a sparkle to the eyes, glow to the skin, and immunity to the cells. Examples of ojas producing foods are milk, ghee, whole grains, fresh organic vegetables, and fresh, sweet, juicy fruits like ripe grapes. Avoid foods that destroy bliss from the Ayurvedic perspective, such as leftovers, red meat, junk food, and canned, processed, packaged, or frozen foods. These types of foods are difficult to digest and create ama, the toxic waste product of incomplete digestion that underlies most disease, dullness, and negative emotions. Rather than looking at the caloric content of food, make sure it is lively with nature's intelligence. What are the effects of radiation on the body from an Ayurvedic viewpoint? Radiation exposure imbalances all three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. The damaging effects of radiation on the body will vary depending on the degree of radiation exposure. Because radiation affects the nervous system, this disturbance in the nervous system shows up in the doshas, and these dosha imbalances can be located in the pulse. Pulse assessment is the primary method of determining imbalances. According to Ayurvedic experts, only a highly experienced Vedic may differentiate between a tridoshic imbalance caused by radiation and one caused by general effects. The degree of imbalance or dosha vitiation varies depending on the exposure and the individual. The initial exposure causes a Vata imbalance, which progresses to the other doshas, Pitta, and finally Kapha. In the end, it becomes a tridoshic imbalance, an imbalance of all three doshas, but even with mild radiation, both Vata and Pitta will become aggravated. In the case of a high-level radiation exposure, the tissue destruction occurs on a large scale. In these cases, tissue degeneration may happen quickly, even before the doshas are aggravated. This immediate tissue damage itself causes an imbalance to all three doshas, which ultimately leads to the destruction of all of the 7 layers of tissues, rasa, rakta, mamsa, etc. Most importantly, perhaps, in determining the effects of radiation or any environmental exposure, Ayurvedic experts look at a person's ojas. The main problem after radiation exposure is found in the quantity, quality, and function of ojas. Ojas in the Ayurvedic model of health maintains our immunity. After exposure, we can see 3 kinds of changes in ojas related to as ojo in the last, and which indicate major Ayurvedic side effects from radiation exposure. In the original Ayurvedic text, the seer Acharya Shuddha clearly says that the following causes vitiate ojas: trauma, stress, depression, malnutrition, wasting diseases, starvation, unfavorable environmental conditions such as too much sun, air, or water, etc. In this regard, radiation exposure is found in the 6th cause: unfavorable environmental factors. Other factors like stress, trauma, wrong food, and starvation can lead to a depleted state of ojas. What does modern science understand about radiation? The question concerning ionizing radiation, and this is a type of radiation that consists of particles or electromagnetic waves that are energetic enough to detach elements from atoms or molecules, thus ionizing them. Direct ionization from the effects of single particles or single photons produces free radicals, which are atoms or molecules containing unpaired electrons that tend to be especially chemically reactive due to their electronic structure. When a human is exposed to ionizing radiation, the damage that is done is due to the effects of these free radicals that are produced. The ancient science of Maharishi Ayurveda has given an herbal compound called Amrit Kalash, which has been found to be one of the most powerful free radical scavengers available. Research has shown that Amrit is 1,000 times more powerful than vitamins E or C, and it's also a full spectrum free radical scavenger, which removes all types of free radicals. Have Ayurvedic herbs been studied for their ability to support tissue health? Many people are asking how to rejuvenate and support healthy tissue. This subject is not foreign to the natural health system of Ayurveda. Organic Triphala rose is one of the most important herbal compounds used in Ayurvedic medicine. It consists of a combination of 3 fruits with health-supporting properties and a wide range of application, and this compound has been used successfully for millennia in Ayurvedic health care. A study showed that Triphala had an anti-mutagenic effect in vitro. This means that in this study it showed the ability to repair damage in the dhatus, or tissues. In Ayurvedic terms, it suggests that these herbs may rebalance the mechanics of transformation from one tissue to another, an important concern. In other words, if a tissue forgets its connection to nature's intelligence or is in some way damaged, Triphala appears to support repairing that connection. The researchers felt that this preliminary finding could have promising implications for fighting the growth of aberrant cells. Another study in Phytomedicine 2002 showed that Triphala had a radioprotective effect in mice exposed to gamma radiation, the radiation which emerges with nuclear fusion. In this animal study, Triphala delayed the onset of mortality and reduced the symptoms of radiation sickness in one animal group significantly more than the control group, which did not take the herbal mixture. This suggests the ability of Triphala to act as a radiation protective agent when administered in the proper doses. While the results are encouraging, human trials on Triphala would need to be conducted in order to prove the same results for humans. Have Ayurvedic herbs been studied for their ability to control free radicals? Radiation does its damage by creating free radicals, highly reactive substances that attack the body's tissues. While preventing radiation exposure altogether is the best strategy, antioxidants can squelch free radicals and may protect the body from the effects of ionizing radiation. The natural formula, Amrit Kailash nectar, has been shown to be over 1,000 times more potent than vitamin C or E. Exposure to some degree of radiation is inevitable in today's world. Diet, herbs, and purification treatments play significant roles in bringing the body back to balance. Learning more about Amrit Kailash as both a preventative measure and antioxidant treatment to supercharge your vitality.